Hello, everyone. Just waiting to see if we've got a few more people coming through. I think we can start. Welcome, everyone, to Icons Institute's webinar for today. Yeah, I'm looking forward to being here with all of you, and hopefully we can help you with any questions that you might have about our early childhood education course. And yes, I'd like to say thank you for taking your time to be with us. And hopefully, we want to try to answer as many questions as we can for you. And hopefully, we can do what we can to answer that for you. Okay, excellent. My name is Ivan. I'm one of the course advisor here at Ikon Institute. We also have Tequila in the background as well as our course advisor here. We do have Julie with us today, who is the head of School of Education. We also have our student ambassador, Annie, on board as well. Hello, everyone. Okay. All right, so thanks again for joining us. Let's get started, and we'll go through the slides. So maybe Julie, can we start off with you? Introduce yourself, and let's go through this.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to our webinar this evening for the School of Education. I'm Julie Michlmayr. I'm the head of school, as Ivan mentioned, and I have the pleasure of managing and leading and also educating the next generation of early childhood teachers through our early childhood qualifications. I am an early childhood teacher by skill role. I've been working as an early childhood teacher for the past 30 years and have had a long and varied career with the qualification. I have experience working as an early childhood teacher, also as a service manager, a service director, an owner of services. I've also worked in primary schools, in infants departments. I have also worked in inclusion support in funded programs, children's services management, area management, and then through now into higher education and also in the vocational education and training as well across my career. So I guess I always start the webinar with early childhood education is a fantastic opportunity, and it does take you on a very varied path. There are lots of opportunities that will come your way. And I also now have a more advocacy and social justice role that I play in that becoming an early childhood teacher enables you to be able to be entrusted with the most precious gift that someone can give you to look after and to educate and to care for. So it is a fantastic career and studying with Ikon Institute through our early childhood qualifications will give you a very solid foundation as well as career progression opportunities as we go through. I'm just going to get the next slide up. Currently, we have a number of courses that we offer in the school, and ranging from a Diploma of Early Childhood Education. And so the Diploma of Early Childhood Education is a 2-year course, and it includes the first 16 subjects of the Bachelor of Early Childhood. It is accredited by a CEQA, who is our professional recognised body, to the equivalent of a vocational education training vet diploma educator as well. The 16 subjects are delivered across 2 years with 3 trimesters each year, and we generally study 3 subjects per trimester. There is 35 days of placement in the Diploma of Early Childhood, and that is based on the requirements of what a seeker require for you to be a diploma educator in an early childhood service. We also have our Bachelor of Early Childhood, which is for the 4-year bachelor degree, and it's an initial teaching qualification. It has the 32 subjects, and it enables you to be registered and accredited as an early childhood teacher with your state-based authority, and has also got a SEQA accreditation as well as AITSL accreditation as well. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of a cold, so just bear with me with my voice. We have 80 days of placement in the Bachelor of Early Childhood, and those 80 days are the requirement, again, of a CEQA, where you will go into an early childhood service and work with a variety of age groups of children across the 4 years of the qualification. We also offer within the Bachelor of Early Childhood what we call the accelerated pathway, and it is a 2-year pathway full-time, which has 16 subjects. So it's not the second half of the 16 subjects of the qualification. It's varied across all of the years of the qualification that you come in and study. And that is for domestic students who are working in an early childhood service. And you also hold an ASEQA recognised diploma and with 1 year's experience. And so what the accelerated pathway enables you to do is to study while you are working, and it has a really great balance so that you come into classes one evening a week and study your subjects through that pathway as well. The Masters of Teaching is also one of our initial teacher qualifications, and it is a 2-year 16 subject masters, and it has 60 days of placement, and that's conducted across 2 placements throughout the 2 years, and it is the final 2 trimesters where you do that placement. The Masters of Teaching is for students who have a diploma or have an undergraduate degree. It doesn't have to be in education, it can be in another field, and you're looking for a career change and you want to be able to be recognised as an early childhood teacher with a CEQA, and also with AITSL, the regulatory bodies under the teaching standards. So there are our initial teaching qualifications, and then we also have our Masters of Education, and it also has embedded within it a graduate certificate and a graduate diploma. The Masters of Education is for students who have graduated with a Bachelor of Early Childhood or an education-focused undergraduate degree, and are looking at forwarding or progressing their career to the next stage and to the next level, especially in pedagogical leadership and educational leadership, service management, and then also moving through into academia and working in higher education. And also becoming a lecturer if that's what you would like to do, to be able to influence the next generation of early childhood teachers. The Masters of Education also can be used for your professional accreditation, professional development hours, and is linked into your teaching standards accreditation and registration, which you will need to maintain once you graduate with an initial teaching qualification. The Masters of Education is 12 subjects across 4 trimesters. It is self-paced and fully delivered in an online environment. There's no placement in that subject, in that course, because it's not an initial teaching qualification. It is more into research and pedagogy and development of your leadership skills. I'm going to get us to go to the. Does anyone have any questions that you would like to ask me about the courses while we're just on that slide? Can either type those in or we can move on, and you can ask me at the end if you would like. Oh, good. Okay.
Sorry, I was talking, I was on mute. I was going to mention, of course, if you do have any questions, please feel free to type it into the question answer session. We'll do our very best to answer them for you, and maybe potentially, if it's okay with you, we'll go through that with Julie as well. Okay, so we do have a scholarship available, as you can see here on the screen. Um, they're right there, and of course, if you do have any questions about them, feel free to reach out to either myself or any one of our career advisors here at Ikon.
Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about our delivery modes and the flexibility and also how you can manage your study and the way that we deliver the qualifications. All of the early childhood qualifications have a combination of delivery methods, and we have a variety so that we can tailor and also work with you to find the type of delivery methodology that works well for you. So we have on-campus delivery and we deliver early childhood in Brisbane. We also deliver it in Adelaide, Sydney, Melbourne, on our on-campus locations there. This includes where you come into campus, and your the lectures and the tutorials are delivered usually in a 3-hour time slot in the timetable, and we generally try to arrange the timetable for on-campus delivery for 1.5 days a week where we can do that. In the online, we have, so online here is referring to what we call our distance program. So we use the, online and distance program interchangeably here. And what that means is that we actually, so you don't come into a campus. So we use our digital campus to deliver the program. But it's the same approach as when we do on campus, in that the lecturer is available and will deliver the lecture and the tutorials, discussions, answer questions. In the digital environment. So they're live each week, so they are timetabled, and you can come into those and you can participate how you would like to. In regards to the bachelor with the accelerated program, the accelerated program, as I mentioned, is delivered one night a week to support the students who are working in the sector. And that is delivered, generally we do one subject in a 3-week cycle rotation. So you would normally do 3 subjects of study, and those subjects are done. So week 1 will be one subject 1, week 2 is subject 2, week 3 is subject 3, and then they go on that cyclic nature as you go through in the accelerated program. So you only are committing to coming in, and they only run, the accelerated program is just up to between 1 to 2 hours of delivery. All of the courses have both an offer, a mix of both online and evening and day delivery, so that you can work while you also study. The Masters of Education, as I mentioned, is a self-paced online study in that you don't come into classes. Everything that you require and need is in our learning platform, which we use Canvas for delivery, and then you work your way through the subjects and submit your assessment task, and then also you'll have someone who is assigned to the subject if you have any questions, and they will reply and organise time to meet with you if that's needed. The placements are generally completed. You can choose as a block, in that you go out 4 days a week generally across a number of weeks, or it is also there might be you can do 2 days a week or 3 days a week, so that you have that flexibility to be able to continue to work whilst you are also doing your placements. It is worthwhile noting that international students, there are certain obligations in regards to your visa about being required to study face to face on campus. So that's just being mindful of that. That we may not be able to deliver a fully online distance program to you as an international student. In regards to career opportunities, I mentioned a few when I kind of introduced myself at the beginning of the webinar. With the diploma of early childhood, so that would be working in long daycare services, in family daycare, in preschools, as a educator with that 2-year qualification. Your bachelor and your masters of teaching enable you to be an early childhood teacher. And so again, you can work in early childhood services under the National Quality Framework. You can also work in state-funded and Department of Education preschools. It enables you to take on room and educational leadership roles within the services, and also progressing through to service directors and managers, and then through that pathway as well. The Masters of Education also is with its focus on leadership management and academia, is like moving more into leading teaching and curriculum positions, policy development, policy writers, project, early intervention. There's a number of avenues that you can go in regards to program delivery. Again, the service director, education administrators roles, and then also enables you to move into higher education academia if that is something that you would like to do. And you can also go through the process once you complete your master's, because there is a research thesis in there. You can then move into looking at your PhD, and then also educational research roles across the country and internationally as well.
Great. Thanks for that, Julie. Okay, but just going through this page right now, here's a number of support that you have available here at Ikon. Of course, you've got myself as well as my other colleagues, other course advisors. We are usually your first point of contact when you reach us, as well as when you are going through the application process. It's our job to make sure we go through this as smooth as possible. You will have other teams that you'll be involved in, especially once you are fully enrolled. You will have like student experience team that can help you with any academic as well as anything personal that you need to go through, like things like timetable or any issues with your logins and so forth. We do have the facilities and resources. So you've got the modern classroom facilities, all the equipments and everything that you need to be able to have a good study space, and of course you got the online resources as well. What's not there, which would be a good idea to mention as well. We do have counselors that would be available for yourself. It's something that it's outsourced. So it's something that you can reach out to if you are having any personal issues, you needing some sort of support. You definitely will have access to those kind of things. Any academic support will also be available for you. We've also got placements as well. When the time comes, we do have a team of placement team that can help you if you are having challenges with your placements. You want me to do that, Julie, or you? Okay, let's go through is what makes Icon special. So, yeah, as mentioned there, we are one of the leading institute in early childhood education. You'll be learning from experts with industry experience. Um, we do have a quite supportive culture and good connection with over 400 industry partners, and we do have a high level of graduate employment. Many placement partners offers graduate position to study who have they worked with them.
Ivan, I can just sort of add there too to kind of
Yes, please.
to inform you, is that there's currently 4,000 students studying early childhood education with Ikon Institute, and we will probably be over the 4,000 by the beginning of trimester one. And there are over 150 faculty staff that work on the qualification. And as it mentions there, 98% of them have worked in the industry or are still employed in the industry and working in early childhood services. So it has that very applied. We understand, what happens in an early childhood service. If you are working in the sector, you're able to come into the classrooms and you can talk through with your lecturers what you might be experiencing and coming up with solutions and ideas on how you can address those things, because all of us have that knowledge, a very detailed knowledge of what happens day to day in the early childhood services operations as well.
Okay, great, Julie. Just before move on, again, thank you so much for explaining all that, Julie. We do have a couple of questions. You have answered some of this, but let's go back into it and just highlight just to make sure everyone is clear. So the first question I have here, can you please clarify the difference between the Master of Teaching and the Master of Education?
A Master of Teaching is what we call an initial teaching qualification. So it's the equivalent to the Bachelor of Early Childhood. So if you want to become an early childhood teacher, you can do either the Bachelor of Early Childhood or the Masters of Teaching Early Childhood, depending on your qualifications. They are accredited through ASEQA and also through AITSL as early childhood teacher accreditation and registration qualifications. The Masters of Education is for those who have already graduated with an initial teacher qualification and want to progress your career to that next stage. So that's the difference between you need the foundational knowledge of a Bachelor of Education, early childhood teaching, or a batch or a Masters of Teaching in order to come into the Masters of Education.
Okay, thank you. And one other question, can you please explain the difference between the career path for the postgraduate diploma and the
Mm-hmm.
Master of Teaching qualifications?
Okay, so I'm assuming you're meaning the postgraduate diploma of education, the graduate diploma of
Yes,
education.
sorry, yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay. So the career pathways for the must. Sorry, Tequila, can you just pop that question back up for me? Sorry, I've just lost it. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Okay. Cool. The difference between the graduate diploma of education, which is the first 8 subjects of our Masters of Education. That again is to go through into academia, to go into those educational leadership, pedagogical leadership roles. And then the Masters of Teaching is your initial teaching qualification. If the question is in relation to if a graduate diploma of teaching, can I just ask if that is what you're referring to, or whether it is the postgraduate diploma?
I'm assuming we're talking about postgraduate diploma.
Okay. So that would be my response there.
Yes.
If the student is referring to the graduate diploma of teaching, which currently Ikon doesn't offer, that's currently. But if you are comparing between another provider who has the graduate diploma and or whether to do the Masters of Teaching qualification, I would strongly recommend that you do the Masters of Teaching qualification in regards to the sector and the early childhood services recognise the Master of Teaching as a more rounded and formulated qualification as opposed to the graduate diploma of teaching.
Okay, amazing. All right, here we go. So let's welcome Annie Pham, who is our current early childhood education students. Annie, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Annie. I'm currently a student doing Bachelor of Early Childhood Education at Ikon, and I'm also a student ambassador at Ikon as well. So, here's I want to hop in here to give you guys a little bit of insight on studying at Ikon, Bachelor of Early Childhood Education. So, I choose Ikon because I want a degree that is not just academic, but also very practical and creative. Fun fact, I actually did before bachelor, I did a certificate and a diploma at ALG, which is also part of Icon as well. And I'm really interested in what I've learned, how Icon delivered it with very hands-on learning experiment and a lot of placement, which gave me the confidence to not just become a teacher, but also become a future educator for the children. Um, in order to balance the work and study is very hard, but I've learned to prioritize, especially when during school term, I focus on assignment, step back from other things, and when right now I'm on term break, so I focus more on my work. It's about choosing what matters most in what moment, and always have something to look forward to by the end of the week, which I share a lot of study tips on Icon's Instagram. So you can find more information on Instagram as well. My favorite subject at Icon is the art curriculum. I'm an art girl. I love hands-on and creative work. So with art curriculum at Icon, I got to design my own passion project and visit art galleries for inspiration to teach children. And this unit really deepened my understanding of art and how to teach it as well. Placement at Icon gave me a lot of real work experience. We went on a lot of placement. It's like once every year. And I saw how reality looked very different from theories, but also the theories of influence my action as well. It helps me build more confidence in teaching style and connection with children. Um, I love working children because every day is different but they're full of creativity, full of energy, and there's a lot of moment where you get to watch how they reach each milestone of learning, how they grow, how they learn, and I feel that's the biggest reward that every teacher gets. I feel very privileged to be part of their early learning years. And for future goals, I hope to grow into a leadership roles in early childhood education to create bigger impact and more influence in teaching and educators. And I want to mentor future educators as well to help shape high quality, inclusive program for all the children. And my degree at Icon, doing bachelor, diploma, certificate, is really giving me a strong foundation to achieve my future goals. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Annie. I'm just going to see if there's any further questions here. Okay, Julie, um, can you, Julie, if you're there, if you can explain if there are any requirements for the accelerated pathway.
Entry requirements?
Yeah, entry requirements, sorry.
Okay, yeah. So for the accelerated pathway, you do need to be, as I mentioned, you need to have your diploma
Yep.
with an ASEQA recognized diploma. You also need to have a up to 1 year's experience, and you also need to be currently working in an early childhood service. And so that's the work currently working in the early childhood service, where you will need to prove that you are working in the service, is what enables you to be able to enroll into the accelerated program. That is one of the very set requirements that you are working in an early childhood service.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, can you explain a little bit more about how online study works,
Mhm.
as well as how part-time study works as well, and how does the timetable look from, I guess, in comparison from full-time to part-time?
Mhm. So generally, what happens? So what I'll start with what online study looks
Yep.
like. So are we talking in the distance environment or in the self-paced environment? 'Cause it's a little bit different.
Why don't we cover both?
Okay, let's go both. Let's start with, okay, so in the Bachelor and the Masters of Teaching, when we're using the online space. So all students, no matter how they study with us, will have access to our learning management system, which is Canvas. And Annie can probably talk a little bit about Canvas, but Canvas is your one-stop shop. Okay, so it has absolutely everything you need for your subjects. It has all of your reading materials, it has your textbooks, your ebooks, and then each subject is broken down into weekly content. And then your weekly content will then have a guide for you on what the topics are that are being covered for that week. It has there the readings that you're required to do. There are viewings for each of those topics as well that we suggest that you watch. There might be podcasts that we suggest that you listen to, and then comes into on each of those pages there is a slide presentation of the lecture, and then there are pre-recorded delivery of those lectures as well, so you can watch the recording. And then there are topic tasks or tutorial tasks that you're required to do on a week-to-week basis or topic basis, and they're designed to consolidate your learning and then also to help and support you in your assessment preparation. So that's one part of the online delivery, and that all students have access to that. In regards to the self-paced online, it is exactly the same, except you don't come into the digital classroom. So it's you just work through the content, you do all of the reading, you
Okay.
prepare your assessments, and then you go from there. Um, Annie, did you want to add anything about Canvas, about how that works? Did you, before I move on to the
Um,
next question?
so Canvas has a lot of support as well. There are some programs that could help us with assignment writing.
Hmm.
That was I tried to
Curiosity.
use it sometimes, not always, but I love our library. Canvas has our library, which is very helpful that I can use keyword in order to search for what I needed to research, which is super easy, which has also bookmark, which help make the process of researching and studying very streamlined. So you don't have to flip through 100 books and 100 pages to find what you need.
Mm.
And that's also inbox section in there where I can email my lecturer and ask questions or exchange information with my classmates as well. So it has everything that you needed. Um, and yeah, I'm very grateful for Canvas.
It is a great system. And it's very well designed. And it will support you for both full-time and part-time study, and also to support your work-study balance. In regards to what does full-time to part-time study look like? So full-time is generally 3 subjects per trimester. And then when you do a placement unit, you generally do 1 subject. So then that makes the 8 subjects per year that you study for the 32 subjects, especially in regards to the bachelor. The part-time students are able to elect to study 1 or 2 subjects. And so when you enroll, or generally you'll be asked the question whether you want to do full-time or part-time study. You do have the capacity, and this doesn't. This is for the domestic student cohort, not for the international student cohort, but there are visa requirements that you have to study full-time. But for the domestic cohort, that means each trimester you will be given the opportunity, if you want to study 1, 2, or 3 subjects each trimester as you progress through the degree. And so the part-time study, what it enables you to do is obviously manage, if you're working, if you want to just do 1 or 2 subjects, and you can continue to progress through, and then also manage all the other things that may be going on in your life at that particular time. We also find that a lot of the students, when they are working in the sector and they're also studying full time, there might be assessment and rating that's coming up at the service. There may be, functions or busy periods of time throughout the year where you're required to more present in your service. So you can actually elect for that trimester to drop down to one subject. When you study part-time, and obviously if you are on a progression where you're working through, it will take you a lot longer period of time to finalize your study. But it works for a lot of our domestic cohort in relation to managing life and study, and then also work as well.
Okay, thanks for that, Julie. A couple more questions came through. Going back to the Master of Teaching, how many assessments are there required per subject?
I love that
Yeah.
question. I get
Yeah,
asked
let's
all the
fire along.
time. So the assessment strategy is designed so that in all of the qualifications, it's not just the Masters of Teaching,
Yes.
all of them have between 3 to 4 assessment tasks per subject.
Okay.
Okay. So there is a combination within that though. So there are some that are that are done individually. There's some that are done in pairs. There's some that are done in groups. There are also a variety of assessment tasks that all modes that we utilize. But essentially what each subject is made up of is of one, what we call a theory kind of academic piece of writing assessment task. So essays, reports, literature review, journal articles, things like that. And then the other 2 assessments are generally what we call applied assessments. So they've got the more practical component to it, and also the more it might be presentations, it might be designing children's books. It might be they've got a lot more creative elements to them that we're asking you to complete. I will, because everyone normally asks me the question, there are some quizzes through the qualification. However, through the qualifications. However, there are no exams where you'll be required to write essays and things like that. All of the quizzes are generally short answers, true, false, multiple choice, those type of questions.
Yeah, I love mentioning that there's no exams. People love it. Thank
So
you.
there's quizzes, but no exams.
Okay, so going to the next question, how big are the classes? Well, this question is face to face, but let's talk about online as well.
Yeah. So generally, in all of our qualifications, we have up to normally no more than 35 students in a class.
Okay,
We generally have between 25 to 30.
25
Yeah.
to 30.
Yeah. There are certain subjects throughout the qualifications where we don't go above 25, and they're usually the first subjects where you study, so to support your transition in. But you will not be sitting in any large classes in any of the classrooms.
Okay, great. No worries at all.
Mhm.
So
And
just
if it does come to that there might be some time throughout the course where we may decide to put a cohort together and have over that 35 mark, there will usually be 2 lecturers who are in that class anyway
okay.
to facilitate the learning. So at no point are we outside of a ratio of generally 1 to 35,
Hmm.
30 to 35 students in the class.
Okay, great. No worries at all. Seeing if there's any more questions coming through. No, I think so far so good. Look, do we have any more slides, or is that the last one now?
Um, I think
We reached the end.
we are almost at the end.
Yep.
I don't know if Annie's been able to answer too many questions, but I think it'd be good to hear about a little bit more on the student life side.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for Icon's flexible schedule because I study for 2 days and the rest I do working at a daycare center as well as an educator. So that's also helped me gain more experience, which support back to my study. So I highly recommend if you start the degree, also look for centers to work at as well, which really, really support your study. And the friendships are one of the remarkable things that I've made at Icon. So the classroom side, like Julie said, it's quite large, but it's actually not always that large. I feel like I've only been with 25 friends, but small classroom, very direct one-on-one interaction with our lecturers, and that's an opportunity for you to create friendship here as well. And the campus, I'm at Thomas Street campus, so it's our new campus, which also have a little ping pong table that I really enjoy. That helps us de-stress after studying, after yeah, and all the campus are very well equipped. I love the resource room at every campus. We have a resource room. That's my favorite thing about Icon as well, is we have a lot of children's resources that support our study. Like as soon as the lectures just talk about we plan an activity for art, we have paints, we have paintbrush, we have a lot of things in our resource room that support that, which is amazing. So those are Icon has a lot of support for us, and I'm very happy with that.
Oh, nice, Annie. That's good to hear. Here we go. A couple of questions for you, Annie. What's your favorite thing since you've joined Icon? What has been your favorite thing since you joined Icon?
Uh, definitely. I like the course. It gave me so much. I did my diploma, but that wasn't enough. I feel like I need more. I need to know more about what I'm studying. So bachelor give me like detailed plan into each curriculum, how to support inclusive, which those things that diploma just on the surface. So I don't really get much too deeper into the research, the theories. So bachelor give me much more details and help me to become more well-rounded educator, I would say. Because my strength, I like art, I'm good at art, but all the like STEM technology, I'm not very good at. And with the all the subject that Icon has for this degree, it helps me become a well-rounded teacher. And I love the routine that studying give me, all the exam or the deadline give me kind of purpose to moving forward. That I feel like I would miss so much if I finish the degree. I feel like I would, oh, what's next? What's next? What do you this weekend? No assignment. I feel a little bit lost. But yeah, those are the things I really enjoy during my study, bachelor and at Icon as well.
Amazing. All right, next question is for you again, Annie. Here we go. How has it been like managing study balance while working in centers and doing your placement been like?
So exam week could be very tough
Okay.
because we have exam every week back to back. But the study period is quite chill, which there's a lot of at the end of the lesson there will be a discussion or some task that you can complete within class, so you can get it done your day that you have class. Nothing bringing home, but some exam week you bring stuff home. After I finish work, I come back home, I get with my laptop and start typing out. So the key to not getting lost or go overwhelmed with too much assignment during busy exam week between work and study is to try to plan it out, map it out during the week. Like, okay, Monday could be a little bit of this assignment, this first paragraph, Tuesday another paragraph. Just divided the task into smaller tasks. So it doesn't
So,
overwhelm you too much by the end of the exam week.
okay, great. Okay, I think this is for you again, Annie. Someone is requesting for you to sing your favorite nursery rhyme. That's no, that's not me. No, I'm
Uh,
only joking. Yeah, I'm only joking.
I have a lot in my mind. Okay, another
You
thing.
do? Okay. Oh, you do want to sing it.
No,
There you
it's
go.
just
So,
a little warning for future teachers over there that once you work at a daycare or you study this degree, there's no way you're getting any of the song out of your head. You're
yeah,
on your way to work, you're gonna sing a song. You're on your way on the train, you're gonna have a song stuck in there. It stay there forever. It's a curse. It's a curse for the teachers. You
it's a
never get away
curse.
from nursery rhymes.
That's really good. Okay, thank you so much for that. I don't think we have any more questions. Yeah, it looks like we covered everything. Everybody, thank you for joining us here today. Oh, next step. Here we go. I was going to go through that. So really, the next step from here would be reaching out to us here at Icon. If you put through an inquiry through, you'd be either speaking with me or Tequila or Chris. That will help you out as soon as we can. Any questions that maybe you come up with, we can certainly help you with that. If you've already registered to this to webinar, you'll be hearing from us very shortly, just in case. But you're welcome to reach out to us if you're super eager to get started. So we're here for you. We are here to make it as smooth as possible for you. Okay, so yeah, so the next intake now will start the first week of February. So that's from 2nd February onwards. So definitely reach out to us, and we want to try to get you enrolled as quickly as possible. If you haven't yet enroll, you can definitely head to our website, icon.edu.au/apply, and we can help you the whole way through. So thank you so much, Annie. Thank you for joining us here. And Julie, thank you so much. And everyone, thank you for joining our webinar and taking your time to be with us. Some exciting time ahead, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. Have a good night.